As you can see, we're starting out with a boring old Microsoft Word Times New Roman. So the first thing that you need to do is go and get yourself some cool fonts. See, these are neat. These are alright. See, you can get some of those. Now that you've gotten yourself some cool fonts, the next thing you want to do is use italics, if you have italics. Because, like, let's be real, italics are great. You can also take these and, like, alter the scale and the rotation individually. One thing I like to do is take italic text and rotate it until the slanted part is no longer slanted. If you're using colors, one thing you don't want to do is, like, go in here and just get, like, a super bright color. Instead, maybe try turning down the brightness or saturation. You try picking like a little bit off of the color that you're using. I'd say that's a much nicer color. It's a lot more natural, doesn't hurt your eyes as much. One thing I really like to do is reduce the size of the text and then put some spaces in between it. That sort of helps to spread it out, give it a nice modern feel. There are also some warp tools you can use, such as the quad warp. You can use this on text to make it appear as if it's 3D or tilted away from the camera. Another way to do this is just to convert the layer into a 3D layer, then you can rotate it around. Polar warp can also be really neat. You can make a nice rounded out style. One really great tip is to use drop shadows. Always use drop shadows, they're great. One of the cool things you can do with drop shadows is set them off to the side at like a 90-degree angle, then use a slightly darker version of the color that you've already got. That creates sort of a 3D appearance. Just play around with some drop shadows, see what you can do. Another cool thing you can do is create a shape with text cut out of it. To do this, you need to get a shape, and I'm going to make this in the color of the text. Now I'm going to make this into its own composite shot and call it like shape. No, let's call it Badger. Then scale this down, make this the shape you want. I'm just going to do a rectangle. Add your text. I'm going to make this completely black so that we can key it out later. Now if we drop a luminance key onto the Badger composite shot, then we can see the black goes away. And now we essentially just have some text cut out of a shape. Another neat thing that you can do is create a texture on text. As you can see, I've got some grunge here. So we're just going to take our grunge and set the text as a matte layer for that. And now you can see it's only in the shape of that text. You can also do this with like a grade or adjustment layer. That's really fun. The final piece of advice in this video doesn't even really have anything to do with the text. It's more with the background. And that is just to add a blur to the background. My favorite type of blur is the lens blur, which totally kills your processor, apparently. Look at my cursor, jumping all over the place. You might want to be cautious with the lens blur, because you might kind of make your computer explode. This is like bad.